Imagine diving into a world where every time you play, the experience feels fresh, new, and unpredictable. Games would never seem to end, where each decision you make changes the outcome, and where the world adapts to your style, offering infinite replayability. These are the types of games what kept players hooked for years, constantly returning for one more run, one more city, or one more challenge. Today we're talking about 10 games with endless replayability, titles what don't just offer a single experience, but an evolving adventure what you can dive into again and again, always discovering something new. First up, we have Darkest Dungeon. If you're looking for a game what pushes you to the edge, testing not only your strategic prowess, but also your ability to manage chaos, this is it. Darkest Dungeon throws you into an ever-changing, procedurally generated world filled with terrifying enemies and brutal mechanics what punish even the smallest mistakes. You start off with a ragtag group of adventurers, barely capable of surviving the horrors what lie within the dungeons. But as you progress, you realize what it's not just about surviving the physical threats. There's a psychological element here. Your characters break under pressure, develop phobias, and crack mentality, making each run feel like a balancing act of keeping them alive and sane. What makes Darkest Dungeon infinitely replayable is its unpredictability. No two runs are the same, and with every failure you learn something new. It's what constant loop of learning and adapting what keeps player coming back for more, and they survive to overcome the impossible odds. Next, let's talk about Civilization 6, a strategy game what practically defines infinite replayability. You start by choosing a civilization and guiding it from the Stone Age to the Space Age, but the genius of Civilization lies in its complexity. Every game plays out differently depending on your starting location, and civilizations around you and you choosing strategy. You could dominate through military conquest, create a culture superpower, or outlast your opponents through science and technology. And the best part? Each decision you make has far-reaching consequences. Declare war on a neighbor too early, and you might end up spending the entire game defending yourself. Focus too much on one strategy, and another civilization might outpace you in unexpected ways. The sheer number of variables, combined with frequent updates and expansions, make Civilization 6 one of those games where even after hundreds of hours, you'll still be discovering new ways to play. Now imagine a game where you can build, explore, and survive in an ever-changing world. That's Minecraft. Whether you're playing in a survival mode, where you gather resources and fend off enemies, or in creative mode, where you have unlimited freedom to build, the game offers infinite possibilities. Want to build a castle, mine for rare materials, or explore the depth of the ocean? You can do it all. And speaking of building, let's not forget Cities Skylines. This city building sim puts you in the shoes of a mayor, managing everything from traffic flow to public services. At first, it seems simple enough. Build roads, zone areas for residential, commercial and industrial use, and watch your city grow. But as your city expands, so do the challenges. You'll have to deal with pollution, traffic congestion, and keeping your citizens happy. Every decision matters, and every city you build is unique. Their replayability comes from the endless customization options. No two cities will ever be the same, and the game's modern community ensures there's always new content to explore. Whether you're recreating real-world cities or building something entirely from your imagination, Cities Skylines offers limitless possibilities for creativity and challenge. Next up, let's dive into RimWorld, a colony simulator where the story is driven by the interactions between your colonists and the randomly generated world around them. Each game starts with a crash landing or remote planet, where you must manage your survivors' needs, build a functioning base, and fend off threats like raiders and wild animals. But the real magic of RimWorld comes from its AI storyteller. which dynamically generates events based on your choices. Maybe you'll have a peaceful few weeks of resource gathering, or maybe a plague will sweep through your colony, forcing you to make tough decisions about who lives and who dies. The replayability here is endless because each run plays out completely different based on the random events, colony's personalities, and your strategies. Adding mods what introduce new features, and RimWorld becomes a game what you can play for hundreds of hours without ever seeing everything it has to offer. Let's switch gears to a game what's a bit more fast-paced, The Binding of Isaac. At first glance, it might seem like a simple top-down shooter, but don't be fooled. Every run in The Binding of Isaac is completely different thanks to its roguelike elements. The items you find, the enemies you face, and the bosses you fight are all randomized, making each playthrough feel fresh and challenging. The real kicker is how the items interact with each other, creating wild and unpredictable combinations what can either make you incredibly powerful or utterly helpless. One run, you might become an unstoppable force of destruction, while the next, you're scrambling to survive. The constant discovery of new synergies and the sheer variety of items keep players coming back for more, as they chase what perfect run where everything comes together just right. Of course, we can't forget about Hades, a game what blends roguelike mechanics with rich storytelling. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, trying to escape the underworld. Every run is a new attempt to break free, and while the dungeons are randomly generated, the game's narrative evolves with each death. You'll learn more about the gods of Olympus, from relationships with our characters, and gradually unlock new weapons and abilities what make each attempt a little easier. But the beauty of Hades lies in how it rewards you for failure. Every time you die, you gain more knowledge, more power, and more tools to help you on your next run. It's a loop what keeps you hooked, as you constantly improving and getting closer to victory. With its satisfying combat, compelling story, and endless variety, Hades is a game what keeps players coming back for more. And then this No Man's Sky, a game what started off rookie, but has since evolved into one of the most expensive and replayable games out there. With an entire procedurally generated universe to explore, you can travel from planet to planet, discovering new species, gathering resources, and building bases. The beauty of No Man's Sky lies in its scale. There are literally billions of planets to explore, each with its own unique ecosystems, landscapes, and challenges. And with frequent updates adding new features like multiplayer, base building, and even underwater exploration, the game continues to grow and evolve. Whether you are a space explorer, a trader, or a base builder, No Man's Sky offers endless opportunities for discovery and adventure. Let's not forget about Slay the Spire, a deck-building roguelike where strategy is a key. Each run, you build a deck of cards what represents your character's abilities, and every decision you make, whether it's which cards to add to your deck or which enemies to fight, can mean the difference between success and failure. The game's randomized layout, combined with the variety of cards and relics you can collect, means no two runs are the same. You'll need to adapt your strategy on the fly, using the tools the game gives you to climb the spire and defeat increasingly difficult enemies. With its challenging gameplay, deep strategy, and endless combinations of cards, Slay the Spire is a game what keeps players hooked for hours on end. And finally we have Terraria. At first glance it might look like a 2D version of Minecraft, but Terraria offers its own brand of endless replayability. The game's randomly generated worlds are filled with biomes to explore, dungeons to conquer, and bosses to defeat. What sets Terraria apart is its progression system. Starting with basic tools, you gradually unlock better gear, more powerful weapons, and new abilities as you explore deeper into the world. Every playthrough feels different depending on how you choose to play. whether you focus on combat, building or exploration. And with frequent updates adding new content, the game continues to grow, offering new challenges and discoveries with every run. In conclusion, these are 10 games where replayability isn't just a feature, it's the core of the experience. So which of these games have you lost countless hours to? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more gaming content.